Welcome back. You are still watching Sports Live as we continue to talk about our national teams, which really are making us proud. Now, Netball South Africa recently held a training camp at the University of Stellenbosch with the view of awarding contracts to the players following a series of retirements from senior players. Now, the Proteas are still looking for a head coach following the retirement of the Australian-born coach Norma Plummer. Netball South Africa President Cecilia Molokwane is joining us to tell us more about the camp and more. Cecilia, a very good evening to you. Compliments of the new season. Thank you so much for making time for us.
Good evening and compliments to you too, Gordley.
All right, fantastic. So, opening up the show, speaking about the camp that was recently held at Stellenbosch, 30 players were invited. Tell us about the purpose of this training camp and if you were able to achieve what you intended to.
It's January, Koli. The players have been on holiday and they've been doing what they can do. And we wanted to see if they're fit. And we were intending to choose the 15 players. But when we sat down as Netball South Africa and the directors that were there, we realized we cannot choose a team for a coach, which will be announced on the 29th. Of February this year. We'll be announcing the head coach of the country who will be taking the country forward. I think that will be fair if that person gives actually all of us the 15 players that she will be able to work with.
I mean, you've already now spoken about when the announcement of the head coach will be made. A lot of people have been asking themselves, but why has it been a delayed announcement? Because the retirement of Norma Plummer came some time ago, and it had also been imminent, knowing that after the Netball World Cup, she would be stopping her duties in terms of coaching the Proteas. Why has it been so delayed, the announcement of the head coach?
I think, sometimes as South Africans, we surprise ourselves. The one time you say, what were the process followed to choose the head coach? And when we follow processes, people say we are delaying. And when we don't follow processes, how did you appoint the coach? So this time around, we decided to follow processes as it should be, as stipulated in the coaching policy of Netball South Africa, to say it will be advertised and then people given an opportunity, interviews will be done, screenings will be done, and presentations will be done, and physical training, theoretical and practical training will be done. These coaches will do that. So we don't want to miss any step, because at the end of the day, when we do that, and we have seen and we've learned from our mistakes that we took somebody and we put them there. We did not go through the process of interviews and everything, and look where we end up. And we don't want to do that anymore, because we want to follow the right processes and procedures, because we thought when we gave Norma a coach to work with the team and her at the time, she will give us somebody, and then she gave us somebody through her recommendation. So we thought once bitten, twice shy. So we won't do that again. We'll go through the processes and how it's done in our own coaching policy that we have in the country. That was actually passed in council.
And when casting your net, I know it is going to be, applications that are sent through and interviews that are going to be conducted. But when casting your net, are you looking locally for this head coach, or are you going to be going overseas again?
I can guarantee you it's going to be a South African. South Africans must relax. We are not getting anybody from overseas. If we get somebody from overseas, they will be coming as specialist coaches, but they won't be the head coaches. We did that in 2019. Unfortunately, it didn't end well with the former coach that we had, and we wanted to have a South African sitting on the World Cup bench in 2023. Unfortunately, we couldn't have that. However, this time around, all the applicants that applied were South Africans.
Because a lot of people will also talk about succession planning. We thought Dumisani Chauke would already be named as the head coach. Is she a front runner, perhaps?
I don't think I'm at liberty to say that. She went to interviews like everybody else. They've recommended to the executive. It's time for the executive to take the decision to say who is the coach and why is that person recommended. So I know she's part of the people that went to interviews, and I know that she's part of those that have been recommended to us to decide on which one to we take forward as the head coach. And being an assistant doesn't automatically make you the head coach. Let me put that straight. It has never happened in many sporting codes. And I don't want to say to people, because of you are the assistant, you'll automatically be that, because we don't want to put a presidency that we won't be able to follow. What if that assistant misbehaves or does something, and we'll be shooting ourselves in the foot?
No, absolutely. Now, a big shocker for us, Cecilia, has been the Proteas not participating in the Quad Series. Why is that happening? What are the reasons behind us not participating in a tournament that really has helped the Proteas players, and especially when you look at the kind of opponents that they take part against?
You know, I'll tell you that is an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time. I'll tell you why. Firstly, we said with the people that we play Quad Series with, the former CEO did that, and we were told that the Quad Series are not going to take place this year. To our surprise, after we've committed to Australia and England, which is money for us to go there, and we were told that the Quad Series are on now. And we couldn't, because it's finance. And finance, taking a team overseas, believe you me, it's more than 2-3 million to take a team there. We took them all to Australia, we took them to England, we played the test series there, and we couldn't go in January to play another test series because we've got a young team to prepare that will be playing the Africa qualifiers for us to qualify to play the World Youth Cup that will be played in Gibraltar next year of under 21 of the world. And we cannot always focus on the SPAR Proteas and forget that we've got other teams in the country. So this time around, we had to give the under 21s that opportunity and that privilege before the SPAR Proteas, because if we agree that we are not going to do that and they decide on their terms and on their term that they're going to do that, and they decide that they'll pay for Uganda to go there, let them do it. And it's a plus for us, because the more we play people that are ranking more higher than us like that, we are not doing anything. We'll keep on being on number 5. It's time we start thinking out of the box. It's time we start adding 1 + 1, and it should give us 2, not 11. Because at the end of the day, the more we play the likes of Jamaica and the likes of your England that are number 3 and 4 in the world, and we are number 5, it's better than playing number 1 and 2 in the world, because it doesn't help us. Those 50 points, we really need them. We don't need to lose them.
Sure, but now with us not taking part then in the Netball Quad Series, what tournaments can we look forward to the SPAR Proteas participating in this year?
Obviously, this is the international window period now, or players all over the world. I mean, that is the last international we've seen in netball. I can tell you that in all countries, because it's an international period whereby February to August, all the players can play in international clubs, as we have 9 players that have gone overseas and play there. We will only be playing in September, October, November, December, and January. We've got a series of those test series for them that will play, and they'll be participating in those countries that will be playing with, and the others coming to play here at home. So as we were doing all the time, we are not going to stop everything. It will continue the same.
All right, I love hearing that. I want us to now speak about the newly, I'll say newly because it was 100 days of celebration of her in office not so long ago, of the Netball South Africa CEO, Mudiehi. How has she taken to her responsibilities? Has she settled in? Maybe, just a little to give us in terms of her appointment of late.
I don't want to say a person has settled in when the person has got only 100 days in office. I think she is still learning, and we have to give her that space and that opportunity. And she's coming up with new things, and we also have to support her in whatever vision she has for us. Remember, she comes from corporate world and both, even government. So she comes with something that I knew that we sing in netball, and she's bringing that new vision. And we have already done our strat plan. We have shared with all our members, and we said we need their inputs in that. And then you have seen that the IG, the investment group, has already been done. Those are some of the things that she came up with to say, in your constitution, President, your own constitution, there's investment. Why are we not doing this? So she is there doing what she should do. I can tell you now, one thing that has already impressed me with her is how she does with corporate governance, and how she has transformed Netball South Africa House at the moment. I was shocked the other day. I went there in December and I was like, this woman is moving, but we need to give her the space and we need to give her the support.
Wow.
And we need to correct her where she's wrong. And we need to also make sure that we also listen to her when we are wrong, because it takes two to tango. It doesn't only take one person to do that. So supporting each other and uniting towards one goal, which she is doing very well at the moment, is key.
Oh, that's amazing. Hoping that she celebrates more and more days in office. And maybe as we wrap things up, I mean, we knew that these kinds of news were going to come in at some point, with players deciding to retire from the game. You know, we've lost quite a lot of quality, quite a lot of experience. When you look at our captain, when you look at the likes of Pumza, how is that rebuilding process now after losing that quality?
Obviously, it's a loss for us as Netball South Africa, because nothing can buy experience. That I can tell you. However, the young ones are coming on board. I mean, Koli, you saw what happened in England. The young ones are saying, we are hungry, we are here, we want to do this. And I want to take off my head for Pumza and Bo, for them when they decided, you know what, we want to hang our boots and we want to give the young ones a chance and we want to be in the system. One thing I can tell you, they will never be lost in the system, not whilst I'm still the president of Netball South Africa. We need to keep that we have invested in and make sure that it gives back to the community of netball, and netball is large.
Oh, I love hearing that. The fact that they are still going to be integrated into the system. So yes, we might be losing the experience on the court, but we'll definitely have it, you know, in netball and Netball South Africa. Cecilia, thank you so much for making time for us. That was truly so brilliant, you know, in terms of hearing about the CEO, you know, what Mudiyehi has been able to achieve. The head coach announcement, we heard it first here on Sports Live. It will be done on the 29th of February. Who is going to be replacing Norma Plummer officially? And of course, you know, just in terms of the players that are going to be integrated and the final 30 that will be selected after the head coach has been announced. Well, thank you so much for making time for us right here on Sports Live. Thank you to our guests, Max Maponyane, Eugene Zwane, Kanyiso Chwago, and of course, Cecilia, who have added to the program. To the team, you have been absolutely outstanding. I'm Olizondo. Have yourself a very good evening.